I wanted to do a solo episode and really dive in my 2025 ins and outs in hopes that this helps some of you ladies rock through 2025 just a little more smoothly. Hi guys, and welcome back to the Only Moms podcast, sponsored by the one and only Mom Juice. If you don't know, or if you're new here, my name is Macy Mincy. I am the hostess with the mostest and the co-founder of Mom Juice. All right, I'm going to rapid fire my ins and outs so that you know if this episode is for you before I actually dive into them and give my little 2 cents. But first, I do have to acknowledge that I just got a haircut and I'm not sure what the fuck it's doing right now. So just rock with me, please, and thank you if you're watching on YouTube. It is like a little bit too short. So, whatever. And like the hot mess that I am, I forgot my cue cards. Happy January. We're just going to rock through this shit messy as usual, but still efficient and still excited. Okay, let's go. All right, my 2025 ends. Morning sun and meditation. Baby snuggles. Making more memories and family time. Prioritizing my health. Better and more informative podcast topics, if you know what I mean. Bi-weekly massages. More community. Duh. Processing grief. Those are all my ins. Okay, let's talk about the outs. Saying yes to every travel opportunity. Downplaying wins and successes. One size fits all lifestyle and parenting. Neglecting my skin. Burning myself out. Saving people financially. Skipping breakfast. And cluttered spaces. All right, so I just need to dive in to my morning sun and meditations. So I think it's really important for me to note that if you don't know my background, I actually climbed the ladder in corporate America, was making my cutesy little 150 to like 300, 400,000 a year, and decided to jump ship and become an entrepreneur. And doing that too early, I was building a company brokety broke, right? And one of the things that got me through that was this meditation that I would do every single morning outside in the sun, where I envisioned that I was having a conversation with my future self. And sometimes this bitch was like really telling me to get my shit together, and other times she was like walking me through my future home and inspiring me, right? And so I understand that I have been basking in the success and the lifestyle that I've built. I've still been grinding and hustling, but it's time to really narrow shit down. I need to get back to activities or create new activities and habits that are going to get me to the next level. I also understand that to get to a level that I've never been at before and that I strive to someday be at, then I can't do the same shit I've always been doing. And so that's kind of this stage that I'm in of exploring and solidifying what these new habits are and making them just a part of my everyday life. But I'm starting with that original meditation that used to get me through the shit to get me to the shit, right? Next, baby snuggles. And I want to say this loud and motherfucking proud for all of the new moms out here. I did not sleep train our daughter. She is about to be 2, and she has decided that she wants to sleep in her own bed, that we don't even have to rock her to sleep. She will be put down in her crib, and she does take about 30 to 45 minutes to self-soothe because we didn't train her to do that. But now we're sad that she doesn't want to sleep with us. And when I say one of my outs is like to stop living to everyone else's perfect expectations and like what does exactly the one size fits all like category, I I feel like this is something that you feel so guilty about. Like, am I hurting my baby by doing this? And like society says that I need to sleep train. I shouldn't co-sleep. I co-slept. I actually paid a nanny and a night nurse to rock and hold my baby for hours if she did not want to be put down. And I'm so grateful for that time that I got with her, holding her and rocking her to sleep and sleeping with her, because she doesn't want to do that shit anymore. And she's not broken. So lay off everyone's little strategy and whatnot and do what works for you and for your lifestyle. And obviously, what is most important is the safety of your baby. My next in was making more memories and family time. I don't feel like I have to dive in here. If you're a mom, you understand. I have a problem with overcommitting, and that's something I'm working on to create space and like really structured family time so that I don't feel any guilt when I am working or when I'm being a mom. And it's really like everyone knows when the heck this is going to happen. So I think it's just like really me scheduling these things out. So it's more than just like a rushed dinner every night or blase. Ooh, prioritizing my health. This is more than just like going and taking a breath, you guys. I need to sit here and tell myself and remind myself that I have medical and dental insurance. And as an entrepreneur, going so long without these things, I think you just get into a habit of like everyday care being the best it can be so you don't have to go and do these things. But I really do need to like frequently schedule my medical and dental visits. And I'm telling you, when we get out of this studio, I'm calling them because I need to get my teeth cleaned. I know that sounds crazy. I didn't go to the dentist for 8 years. Now, I have never had a cavity in my life. So I may not have some of the problems that other people face just naturally, but I have got to get into a habit. I'm hitting the age where some of my peers have serious health things that are popping up that could have been prevented if they were actually going and doing spot checks or health checks. And so I'm trying to get myself into a routine of like, bitch, you got the insurance. Let's lean in here. There's no reason for this. Okay, so better and more informative podcast topics. If you don't know, I've popped off a little bit on TikTok, and with the community that we have now built with Mom Juice after 4.5 years, it's taken us some time. I really feel like I can ask this question. I can see what you guys actually want to talk about, and I can find those people and sit down and have those conversations. So that is my goal, to stop assuming interesting topics. I do think there's some assumption of interesting people, but more so on like, what are the educational things that you guys want to learn about? I am all ears and ready to pop off. Bi-weekly massages. If you can afford it, this is pretty obvious. Like, let's just do it. My problem is I travel so often. I book a massage where I live and then I miss the appointment because I'm gone. So I'm going to pre-book massages when I'm traveling. And that's going to just work for me. Community. I just touched on that with a podcast thing. You guys get it. I think another really cool thing to chat about is how we have now built out with Mom Juice in real life events every single month in different cities. If you go to my page or you go to the Mom Juice page, this is something we've been talking about a lot and we've been getting a lot of excitement about. We are going to have MILF dinners, rich auntie dinners, book swaps. I mean, these are so beautifully curated and just like the place where girlies want to be. If you're getting a babysitter, let me rephrase that. If I'm getting a babysitter, it needs to be worth it. And these events, these in real life meetups will be worth it. Okay, the last thing on my ins list for 2025 was processing grief. And I'm sure I am not the only person dealing with this. one of my skill sets is moving at 100 miles per hour and like really being good at the like weaving and bobbing and not taking things personally when they tell us no, or constantly figuring out a solution for something. But that also means that I'm constantly weaving and bobbing through things that I might need to process. And it's just now hitting me that one of my best friends passed away from lung cancer while I was pregnant. So, over 2 years ago. And I need to feel that. And I need to start just like working through it in a way that I can get to a point where I can speak out loud to her without having full breakdowns, or even honor her in ways that she deserves while she's not here. So that is something I'm working on. If you guys have tips for that, please comment, because right now I'm just starting with therapy, talking about it in therapy. Anyways, those are all of the ends. Cheers to all the things we are going to be doing in 2025. This rosé is so good. Honestly. Woo! All right. Let's chat about our outs. Saying yes to every travel opportunity. That's my first out. You know when they categorize people as new money or just like super loud with your money, you can tell like they didn't grow up with money. Yeah, that was me. I'm that bitch. Okay, I'm the new money loud bitch. So for me, when I finally got a little bit of money where I could say yes to every travel opportunity, it didn't matter if it was just something I was interested in. I classified it as a business trip, some kind of random conference, or every single girl's trip possible. I was saying yes. I was there. I didn't have to get ready. I stayed ready. Like, let's get on the flight. But it's wearing your girl out. So I am really prioritizing the importance of the trip, the importance of being out of my house and away from my children. And if I can make up that quality time with the people on the trip, or learn that type of information on a specific industry, or accomplish the same things at a meeting via Zoom as I would from being physically there, it's something that I have to just learn how to not even say no, but like, let me get back to you. Right? Let me get back to you. Let me evaluate things. Am I putting too much on my plate? Can I send flowers? Right? Like, that's where I am. Downplaying wins and successes. Moms, we do too much all the fucking time. Okay? And I don't have the answers. I do not have the answers on how we stop doing that. We are constantly the over planning, the overcooking, the overdoing, the always stimulated, constantly touched, mom, girlies. And that's okay. I'm willing to lean into that. But it's time that we start celebrating our wins, start celebrating success. And I'm not even saying it has to be on a giant scale, right? I still get so surprised when I walk into Target and I see our wine. Maybe I didn't celebrate that enough. Again, back to the like, I have a problem with not processing. But every single week, I am going to classify what a small win and what a big win would be. And I'm going to take a moment. And even if that's a moment to have a glass of wine by myself, or a glass of wine with my husband, or to take a bubble bath, or to eat a fucking cake, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Ugh. One size fits all lifestyle. I just went through this journey last year, probably October, where I was attempting to transition into a morning person. And this came about because I woke up one morning and couldn't go back to sleep, and I got a bunch of shit done, and I was like, wow. If I had that time to myself, this would be really nice. So I gave it a go. It was not a success. And let me tell you why. My husband is not a morning person. He likes to stay up at night. That's kind of when we put the kids to sleep. We get to spend time together. We get to catch up on little work stuff or catch up on schedules and lay there and be goofy, doom scroll. I don't know. I don't know what we're doing, but we're up until at least midnight. And last week, I did a nighttime work session because I was so overwhelmed by my to-do list. And when I tell you, I did not feel 1 ounce of guilt for sleeping in the next day. And when I say sleep in, I only mean until 8:30. And I felt so good about all that I had accomplished. And it made me realize that this is just one example, but I don't have to be the girly that gets up at 5 a.m., that gets up at 6 a.m. I can get up at 8:30. I can see my daughter. I can meditate. I can have a slow morning, and I can freaking schedule myself to work 2 to 3 times a week for 2 hours after my kids go to sleep. My husband's already up and doesn't care. I'm already up and motivated. Like, one example of how I am like breaking all the rules. I am not going to be this fucking 5 a.m. millionaire. I am going to lean in to the things that I know work for me and stop feeling guilty about it. That's all. Neglecting my skin. Y'all know the deal. We do this shit all the time. We do it all the time. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm stopping. I need to like write a sticky note on my mirror, like, moisturize, ho, to remind myself. Burnout. That's pretty, y'all know, we don't have to dive in. We just got to stop burning ourselves out. Saving people financially. This is such a hard topic because there are people that we have lent money to that couldn't pay it back on time, or we have invested because we more so felt bad for the actual person and then we lost. And I have to start reminding myself that every single move we make is a risk for our family. I am a risk taker. Oh my God, I love to take risks. But my children should never suffer. Not that they have, but it could get out of hand. They should never suffer for the risk that I enjoy taking and the rush that I get in doing it, or being everyone's savior. So, needless to say, don't call me if you need some fucking money this year, because I'm not loaning any out, and I don't even know, like, I might not even look at an investment until Q2. I am just exhausted. The market was down. People need time to figure it out. I'm not doing it. Welcome to season 2 of Only Moms. And you know I can't kick things off without a little treat from my favorites. So, if you're new around here, let me fill you in. 4 years ago, with my amazing business partner, Kristen Taylor, I co-founded Mom Juice. We're all about keeping the bullshit out of wine, literally. We're gluten-free and vegetarian. We also practice ingredient transparency by putting all of our ingredients on the back of the bottle. I know you might be giggling, but not all wine is vegetarian, okay? So you might just be drinking fish bladder, but that's none of my business. Here's the fun part. As your Only Mom sponsor, I'm here to hook you up with 20% off your next order. Just head over to momjuicewine.com and use promo code ONLYMOMS to go and treat yourself. You deserve it. Skipping breakfast and cluttered spaces. I'm a breakfast girly. Not everyone agrees with this, but since the baby, I have stopped having breakfast, which is weird because I make breakfast for her. And sometimes I eat with her, and then sometimes I don't, because I'm just like, great, made breakfast with her. It was a fun time. Now she's going to eat. The nanny just got here. I have so many things to do. And then I'm starving at 2:00 and I binge eat a pizza and I feel nasty and I'm like talking down on myself. And we're not, no. I'm eating my scrambled fucking eggs and I'm making my avocado toasts and I'm drinking my green shit in the morning this year. All morning. Every morning. I'm eating breakfast. All right, cluttered spaces. And then this is all I have for my 2025 ins and outs. Cluttered spaces. This for me is something that goes into my personal relationship because my husband is on the borderline, like the cusp of being a hoarder, right? I am messy. I'm a clean, messy girl. Like, I'm not going to have dirty dishes, but my clothes will be everywhere. Mail will stack up. Shit like that. It's just not necessary. And I need to feel like I can breathe. I want to breathe in my space. And I want to see the dust fly off of a clean surface. Because I deserve that. So I am going to take some time in Q1 to declutter all of my spaces. Y'all watch out. I might just have a garage sale. My husband will be having a panic attack as he watches everything sell because that's his own thing that he needs to work through. Y'all could come for that clown show too. But decluttering my car, decluttering my nightstand, decluttering my makeup drawer, decluttering my office, decluttering the mail pile. All of those are some just like immediate things that I know I'm going to work on decluttering. And I hope that you do the same if you have this issue. Anyways, 2025 is going to be our best year yet. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I am saying I'm along this journey with you. I'm excited to see all of the things that we do as a company, that you do as a mother, and I cannot wait to hopefully toast to our success in real life. Cheers.